I can exit out of that. I can minimize that. Keep that up. Pop that up.
I hate when I fucking do that. Alright. I just laugh how they get some of these people so buttered up for these shows.
You damn right it's Liv. What's up, Tony? What's up with you, Mang? Ming, mang, 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 ming. Um... Oh, okay. You know, don't respond. That's cool. Didn't want you to respond anyway.
Oh no, this isn't the one. House that had that type of thing in. I didn't know these people are moving out.
Yeah.
They're moving out. Oh yeah. Hi, Tor. Oh, cool, dog.
I know. I just saw that.
What's up?
I said I know. I just saw that.
Oh, that's awesome. He's excited, I know that. Sir. That's Dub's son, that's Camden.
What does he have?
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Ryan, let's have like a fake little conversation here.
Okay. So, you looking forward to this weekend?
Hold up, I think I might have messed it up.
So, you looking forward to this weekend?
Hold up, I think I might have messed it up. Here we are. Hello. Ryan, hello.
Hey, AJ, what's going on?
Oh, not much.
That, bibbity boppity?
All right, so we're good.
Bibbity boppity? Boppity boopity.
I can mute that. I can silence my cell phone. Silence my cellular devices. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. You can see me pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, good shit. I'm kind of like at a chilled angle right now, so.
Oh, that's right, we got story time. I got the Celtic game on in the background.
I had the Pistons game, but Sarah turned on Property Brothers.
That could get annoying after a while.
What, Property Brothers?
No, the little ding's going on in the background here.
At your house?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, we gotta go over to the truck series first.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would help if I put the show sheet on the right freaking page.
Yeah. Yeah, I made some notes about the truck series, too, so.
That's good.
Couple things I saw. I'm gonna start doing that more often. Is trying to take notes during the race and with my tablet with me. I mean, it's hard. I'm still trying to get used to typing on the damn thing. I'm more better with my phone, but they got a nice little program on the tablet I like to use.
Nice.
Yes, and I got my drivers picked for this weekend.
I don't have a pen, so you're gonna have to tell me afterwards.
Okay, that's fine.
Of course, I don't have a pen on me.
What the hell?
It's too far away.
Yes.
'Tis too far away. You want to?
Too far.
Oh.
I was gonna say.
Let me send a message.
Yeah. Speaking of too far away, we're 2 minutes.
I just wanted to send somebody a message here.
Oh, yeah, I need to check something, too. I always do this. Weather. Oh, nice. Hey, kitty. Ah, Binks, no, kitty, no. No, what'd you do to my notes?
Well, you had truck notes, now you don't.
No, I still have them. I have it saved. The cat, as you can see, is like right on my lap. It's like, yeah, what's this?
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Roll an intro.
All right.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 57 of the Loose Lugs podcast. I am your host, AJ. With me, as always, is our resident father here, Double R. Ryan, what's going on, man?
Not much, AJ. How the hell are you?
Can't complain, man. Middle of the week, we're halfway to the weekend.
Yes, we are. Can't complain about that.
We're halfway to Bristol.
Yeah, oh yeah, Bristol, baby. Speaking of which, since you just mentioned Bristol, I'm actually going to tell you right now. I normally do this later in the show, but I figured people are going to complain it's going to be raining all weekend in Bristol. Only day for rain, chance for rain is Friday, and it's got a 90% chance of rain. But Saturday, Sunday look great with the highs of 75 and 80 degrees on both afternoons. So it's going to be a great weekend in Thunder Valley. Probably one of the greatest places on earth, if you ask me. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm still saving my first short track, though, for hopefully next year at Martinsville.
Ah, yes. I would love to do that with you. That'd be awesome. Have the Loose Lugs podcast connection down in Martinsville.
Oh, yeah.
Or, in your case, up in Martinsville.
We need to get some Loose Lugs podcast connection going on later tonight on some NHL action.
We could possibly do that, yeah. Yeah, what was I going to say? I was going to ask you something. How's your bracket looking?
Busted. Fully busted.
Yeah.
It is fully done.
well, going into the games Thursday, I was in second place in my CBS bracket as the cat tries to say hello to the listeners and the folks who are watching this lovely program. Lost all but one game on Thursday night, and I'm like, well, I'm toast. And then Duke did what Duke does, I guess, and yeah.
So every year when I fill out a bracket, I think the last 3 years I picked Duke to win it all. I'm pretty much done with that at this point. I had a Duke Tennessee championship game, and that pretty much was out the window last Thursday.
I don't know if you watched any of the Purdue Virginia game. I think it was, but that point guard Edwards for Purdue is something else, man. He his stock definitely rose up in the draft.
Yeah, but you know what? Even with Duke's loss, it still doesn't affect Zion's, man. I still think he goes to the Knicks.
Yep, and I think that Morant kid is gonna go number 2, I do believe.
Well, that's right. You know, I'm sitting here watching the start of the Celtic game on my TV up here, and I'm pretty sure they're at the same spot in the season just about as hockey is, except hockey's got 2 games left. I think there's like 5 or 6 games left in the NBA.
Yeah, I think there's about 6 left of the NBA. I know the Pistons are fighting. As of right now, I think they were 6 seed. Hockey, we don't want to talk about that. Both the Wings and Oilers.
LOL.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs. And
we're back.
Shocking. It's the same repeat matchup as it was the last 4 or 5 years. The Leafs and Bruins.
And then I get the picture today of that tweet that was sent out about the NHL Players Association, the NHL agreeing to keep it the same for next year. Like, are you kidding me?
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This format is terrible. How you got your divisions playing each other. Go back to normal.
Here's something for you, Ryan.
7.
If the playoffs were the old format and everything's seeded up the way it is now, you'd have Tampa versus Montreal,
which would be a great series.
Which I think is already going to be the first round matchup if Montreal gets in. You've got Boston taking on was it Columbus?
Yeah,
or Carolina. I think it was Carolina.
Carolina, because I think Columbus is fighting their way in right now.
You would have Leafs Islanders,
which would be a great playoff series, especially with the hatred towards Johnny Tavares right now. No offense, Tony. I know you're listening.
You'd have Washington Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that would be a wow. Normally, that happens in the second round with this new format.
And I think that was it on the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Did I get them all there too? Yeah, that would be all 8 playoff teams. Tony, it's April. Don't talk to me about baseball yet.
Yeah,
the Tigers minor league farm system has plenty of time to screw it up.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Speaking of this weekend, AJ, I know we got a big race down in Bristol, Tennessee, but there's another event that some of the listeners here, some of the followers of the podcast, WrestleMania. And AJ, I have to ask you this.
Oh,
Are you excited for WrestleMania? I think I just got your answer.
I think it's time for a nap.
My
Okay, let's just think about it here.
Go ahead.
The card itself isn't terrible. It's just the way that they've let up on the Raws and SmackDowns leading up to this. It just made me want to go to sleep.
Yeah, and my biggest issue too is you have a pre-show that starts at 5 or 5:30 on the WWE Network. 6 o'clock USA comes in, they grab it for an hour. The main card starts at 7 p.m. That card, I think as of right now, they have 15 matches that are scheduled to take place on this show. This pay-per-view is not going to get over to almost 1:45 in the morning on a Sunday night.
Tony goes, WrestleMania feels like a long pay-per-view, not the biggest pay-per-view. Tony, isn't that one and the same kind of?
That is, exactly. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't even think I'm going to stay up and watch the whole thing. I mean, I may have it on up upstairs in the bedroom.
That's right. That's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, there's just no. I can't say I don't have any interest in it, but it's just the way they've led up to this has just been uninteresting as a whole.
Like, I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. It's still WrestleMania. I'll watch it. My issue is how long the pay-per-view is going to be. Allotted for 6 hours and it starts at 7. Push the pay-per-view back. Kids got to go to school the next day. They're going to be at the pay-per-view who are watching it on the WWE Network and on pay-per-view all around the world. Please.
Oh, don't worry, because Tony says in the chat, hashtag we want Cena, he's going to be there. He's going to have a match with somebody. Honestly,
there's another guy that's going to be there that hasn't been around.
Honestly, I would like the whole Cena thing, because they say that Cena's going to have a match, right? I would like him to get Baron Corbin taken out, or Baron Corbin gets taken out by somebody, and end Kurt Angle's final wrestling match with the guy who started his career with Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that's what everybody wanted to see. Rumors are going around that Undertaker is going to possibly show up.
Didn't he just sign with AEW?
No, I don't think so. Not that I...
Or not AEW. I thought he signed with another promotion.
He was doing some type of promotions. We might have a cry here in a minute. So, he's in La La Land, but you always tell when he's about ready to let out a little cry here. So we might get.
We finally might get to see the kid on the show.
We might. Yes. It's almost actually. What time is it? 7:40. Yeah, it's almost time for a bottle for him. So yeah, might see him on here for a little bit. But I just. And the WrestleMania for me is too long. I'm more excited for Friday night and NXT TakeOver. That's going to be a great pay-per-view.
Yeah, you got TakeOver Friday. You've got the Hall of Fame Saturday.
Yep.
Even the Hall of Fame was like, this year.
The problem with the Hall of Fame, though, is you get these guys that go out there. I mean, I think one of the best speeches I've seen in quite some time was DDP. DDP gave a great speech when he got inducted. The problem is the speeches go too long.
My favorite was still Bret Hart.
Hellbilly Jim goes on and on. I know you guys don't want to be here for now, but let me tell you about this. Well, let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. I just
And then I know we're going long about wrestling here.
Brother.
It was the only way that the Hall of Fame could get China in.
No, yeah, exactly. They weren't putting her in solo. There's no way.
No. So, that's kind of like DX is going in, but hey, it's really because we can't put China in any other way.
Now, will Billy Gunn be there?
You mean the badass Billy Gunn?
Yes, because he is now a writer, the sole writer, I think, or something backstage for All Elite Wrestling.
Did they get a TV deal yet for All Elite?
I don't know if they got a TV deal. I know it was in the works between TNT and TBS are the two main affiliates they're trying to get them signed. And then we have a dinosaur here.
Let's just hope AEW doesn't turn into the AAF. I threw it in there.
Oh, yeah, got it. Oh, man.
Where's Sean at?
Yeah, where is Sean, man? Hey, props to Sean, man, watching every single AAF.
He was there for everyone.
Yeah, mad props to him, though. I mean, it sucks that it folded. I mean, But I think it was Around the Horn said it. People, all they care about is the NFL, and that is it. I
What
mean,
the AAF?
nice one, Tony. Oh yeah, Tony just mentioned it too. That G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden Saturday night. That's why they moved the Hall of Fame to Saturday, because they had a lot of people that bought tickets for NXT were wanting to go to this G1 show too. So that's why they flipped out. And Evolve Wrestling does promotions with NXT. Adam Cole goes there a lot. Velveteen Dream goes there. They have a show early Friday saying that the show will be done in time for everybody to get a couple blocks down the road to NXT. They even have it on the flyer too, which is awesome.
You know, it makes me excited for next year when it's in Tampa, because even if I don't go to Mania, there's so many other shows I can go attend that week.
Yeah, NXT is going to be out of this world. Plus, like Tony, there's the G1 Supercard that Tony's talking about. It's got a lot of ROH, New Japan guys. So I'd be definitely worth something to check out too.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, I think we've nailed this introduction for the past 10 minutes, 20 minutes just about.
Yeah. Well, WrestleMania weekend, everybody's excited for it. Well, some people are. Some people not so much. So, yeah, let's dive into it.
Let's get into it. Gas and go. Texas, here we go.
Woo!
Tony goes, you guys outlasted the AAF.
Yes!
That is +1 commentary right there, Tony. +1. Gas and Go is where we recap the past race weekend, and we had all 3 series in action this weekend. Kicking things off, we had the Gander Outdoor Truck Series from No Limits, Texas, and Kyle Busch dominates his way to yet another Truck Series win. He's won all the truck races he's entered in 2019, and led 97 laps en route to the win.
Yes, yeah. I am not surprised that he won. That's just not surprised he won. So, all in all, it was
sucks
good
for Vegas odds.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, a lot of cautions in the truck race. I think they said 9 cautions.
It was a race high of 10. It tied a race high of 10.
Yeah, 10. Yep. One 10. Of the that's 10. Hey, it's another wrestling reference. 10. Well, wait, he doesn't work there anymore. But yeah, the lot of wrecks, and I noticed too, because I just got done skimming over it. It was the 54 truck who was driven by Alfredo. When he spun out, he got next to Stuart Friesen, and the air just gets sucked right off of these trucks. That he just spun back into the wall, caught on fire, and escaped the truck really quickly, though. So hats off to the safety equipment of these trucks to get these guys out quickly when the vehicle gets engulfed.
Ryan, I don't want to get sidetracked again, but I'm about to. That video that you sent to me Saturday, speaking of guys getting out of the car quick, of that local short track where the guy jumped into the window of the car.
Lord.
He got out quick.
Yeah, he did, because the driver just revs the engine like, vroom. This guy, next thing you know, you see he's doing a back somersault down the backstretch here. Luckily, nobody was hurt on that.
I just don't understand what leads these people to diving into a car like that, on an active, I say active track because, yeah, they were under a red flag. It was still an active racetrack. Like, cars are started.
My problem is with it is that they have this, these guys going in these cars at these local short tracks, not knowing what the hell they're doing, and these guys just gun it. Oh man, that's not. There's no place.
I mean, not to get sidetracked again on a whole nother tangent, but yeah, that was dumb.
Yes, it was. I didn't
that was
like
a perfect
it.
10 dumb.
Yes, it was. That was not thinking with your head right there. Yeah. Man.
But race high 10 cautions is where we were at, Ryan. With
10 cautions. Todd Gillen early into the race spun.
Middle finger, Ryan. Middle finger.
Yeah. Hey, my guy actually won, I think. My guy did it in the trucks. So, but all in all, I enjoyed the race. I thought it was a good one. So, guys,
there was a crazy stat.
Hold on.
Oh, look at that! We got a debut.
Yes, we do. We got the debut of Logan on the podcast.
Oh man.
Oh,
For those of you that are listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast platforms, check out our live stream at about the 25-minute mark, I think we're at, 25 minutes. And you can see the beautiful baby Brincola right there.
That's right. That's Logan. Hi, Logan.
We just keep getting sidetracked in this one.
There's nothing wrong with that. This is Logan's debut episode here on the podcast. He's looking at me. It's like, Daddy, what are you doing? But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the truck race. I thought there was some great racing. A lot of battles for the lead. The draft was definitely working, especially earlier with Moffitt and Kyle Busch. Those guys were going side by side, beating and banging on each other.
They mentioned this stat, Ryan, during, I think it was Sunday's race, that Kyle Busch was the youngest of the top 5.
Yeah, that was scary. Everybody complains about him going down into these smaller series, but yet he was the youngest guy in the top 5.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we complain about it too, but wow, that was because I saw that early Sunday morning, just before I went grocery shopping, and I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, that was actually a really, really crazy stat they brought up, and I couldn't believe it.
Exactly.
But your stage winners this one: first stage, Grant Enfinger; second stage, Kyle Busch; and your race winner was Kyle Busch, your top 5 that we just mentioned. Kyle Busch, the youngest, and then you have Stuart Friesen, Johnny Sauter, Grant Enfinger, and Matt Crafton. Your standings following Texas: Stuart Friesen, Grant Enfinger, Austin Hill, Johnny Sauter, Ben Rhodes, Brett Moffitt, Matt Crafton, and Todd Gilliland. Your next race is 1 month away. Dover, May 3rd, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Oh, Logan, I know.
Oh, you did it now.
Logan's upset because there's no truck race for a month. Look what you did, NASCAR. You upset my son because there's no racing for a month in the trucks.
Tony said, hey, who's that handsome fella in our chat? And I believe that's me, Tony.
No. That's the guy with the bald head. Hey, there's 2 of them.
I think that kid's got more hair than you, Ryan.
I don't know. Hun, do you think he's got more hair than me? About the same. Sarah says about the same, so I have to agree with her on that. So,
yeah, 1 month away though for that race.
Yeah, that's crazy. No,
it's every time I mention it.
Yeah, I know. Stop mentioning the damn truck race. Been up for a month.
All right, we're gonna.
Oh, yeah, here goes. He's going to Mama now.
Yeah,
he's going to Mama. But yeah, guys, that's Logan. He had his podcast debut tonight, so.
It went well.
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, he was looking up at me the entire time. He tends to, like, I got my beard hanging down low, and he always moves his hands. He's always constantly moving his hands, and yep, there he was right there, moving his hands into my beard and all that. So, but yeah, a month off, ridiculous.
Well, moving on, we got the Xfinity Series, and Kyle Busch powers through a final restart battle with Tyler Reddick to win at Texas.
Again, not surprised, but
he didn't dominate this one, though.
No, he didn't. The good thing about the Xfinity race was you're going to go over it during your stage wins. It was multiple guys winning stages.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking, to be honest with you, seeing as how it goes when Kyle Busch races these races. But you want to talk about a Cup guy racing in the Xfinity Series who had a tough day. Brad Keselowski finished 35th.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, he finished 35th. Brandon Jones, who I picked to win this race, was driving around after a pit stop with his jack.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah,
the world's fastest jack back at it again.
There he was, and because Sarah and I are watching this, and and she's like, he's not supposed to be driving around with that. I'm like, no, he's not. And I'm like, unfortunately, that's the guy I picked in our little pick'em here on the podcast. And yeah, ends up crashing with Cole Custer too. That was a big point for Brandon Jones. Luckily, Custer got that win though.
This race though was all about pit strategy, especially at the end. On pit road, Eric Jones. Wow, Christopher Bell. I gave him all a shout out there. Christopher Bell was complaining after the race, not so much complaining, but voicing his frustrations, I guess would be the best way to put it, with no tires beat fresh tires. And it's not often we see that, especially at the ends of these races.
Yeah, the tires were not an issue this weekend at all.
It's got to be because of that PJ1 though they put down in the turns.
Plus
It
the
gives everybody grip.
plus I actually thought that produced some good racing. I'm in all the races this weekend.
It actually made the high lane work.
Yeah, because especially you look at tracks that have been repaved, Michigan, for example, Kentucky. It's always the one lane, and now they put this PJ1. They hats off to Texas for giving the fans a great show all weekend.
Oh yeah.
How about the weather, AJ? Unseasonably cold for Texas, if you ask me. In the 50s.
It was cold, but I thought that they were forecasted. I'm having a brutal show right now. They were forecasted to have rain earlier in the week, I thought, and it was nice to see that we got every race in without any problem.
Yep, not one problem, but yeah, like you said, that how about you mentioned a late rate restart with the Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick. How about Kaz Grala being up there?
Even in practice, right off the truck, that car was quick, and it says what I was telling you guys last year on the podcast. You get that kid in the top ride, he's going to compete.
Yep, and too bad he still doesn't have a top ride. Somebody's going to go after him. Are you there, AJ?
I muted my microphone.
Yes. I'm talking to myself now here on the Loose Logs podcast.
I was saying, though, that I think the 8 car is available for a couple races still.
Yeah, I know they got Zane Smith in that car. Junior's riding in it at Darlington, obviously. And then isn't Chase running in it? And
Chase has been. I don't know if he's running in it anymore this season, but I know he has been running in it when he races in the Xfinity Series, at least the one race at Daytona this year.
I know it's a Chevy Alliance, but why not?
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Childerson Sr. go back. I'm sure Childerson Jr. are good buddies. Why not get the kid some more rides?
Yeah, no, Kaz Grala in that 8 car would be awesome to see.
I would love to see that,
especially with what I think is the best Xfinity program out there.
Juniors. Oh, of course.
You can say it's all about the gives, but when it comes down to playoff time and winning races and championships, it's Junior Motorsports all the way.
That it is. What else did I?
Christopher Bell, though, Ryan, in the first stage has an impressive first stage where he led every lap and then too fast entering pit road. A lot of guys had pit road struggles this weekend.
Yeah, all series had what's the I sent it to you on Sunday. The NASCAR police are in full force, and boy howdy were they.
Yeah, and then we had some questionable, uncontrollable tire calls, and
we're gonna get into that a little bit later here. So you guys just hold on.
Well, your top 5, your stage winners after this one.
Yep.
You had Christopher Bell first stage, Ryan Sieg second stage, and
congratulations,
third race winner.
Yep, congratulations, Ryan Sieg. And you know what the best part about it was? You know how they do from the driver's seat. He's the driver that Austin Dillon, and Kevin Harvick interviewed, and I'm like, wow, you're going to a guy that people know who he is, but then doesn't really run up front, and then to see him win a stage on a great pit call by the crew chief because they had there was a late caution. They ended up staying out. They're like, tires aren't wearing off. Might as well get out here, stay out here, and see if we can win the stage. Wins the stage, ends up, I think he got 10th, a top 10 finish.
Yeah. You're moving on from your top 10. We got the top 5: Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Harrison Burton.
No, it's Jeb.
Or Jeb Burton.
Yeah.
I've got an excuse here because I said Harrison Burton because Harrison Burton actually got a Xfinity Series deal this upcoming weekend for Bristol.
Oh yeah.
But yes, Jeb Burton in the 8 car, fantastic run for his debut, wasn't it? Wasn't that his first Xfinity race?
I do believe so.
Your standings following Texas: Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Cole Custer, Michael Annett, Austin Cindric, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Noah Gregson, Ryan Sieg, John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Haley, and Chase Briscoe. Your next race is Bristol this Saturday, 1:00 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
AJ, real quickly before you go on, I know Tony's watching us on the podcast. He said, my kid is crying too. Way to go. Laugh out loud. Well, last night, my mom was over, and I wanted to show my mom a picture of Lily, and so I did. And my mom's like showing Logan, "Here's a picture of your girlfriend," and Logan starts crying, like he got this face. I'm like, "Oh no, that's not good." So, Tony, if you're listening, yeah, my mom showed Logan the picture of Lily, and Logan.
See, Tony, I'm not the only one who thinks that's going to be a relationship one day.
My mom thinks it too. So look at that. So how
Moving
about
on,
that?
we got the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, and Denny Hamlin outlasts, overcomes pit road speeding penalties again, gets the win at Texas. It's his second win of 2019. Continues the JGR Penske Racing dominance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't think Denny Hamlin had a snowball's chance, after that penalty.
Yeah, and plus he missed pit road a couple times too.
Yeah. I got to say, because I'm a part of that NASCAR fan council, and they ask a survey every week. And I think predictability was one. Were you knowing the entire race who the winner was going to be, basically? And I got to say, I gave it a 10 because I didn't know who was going to win.
No, not at all. And you know what? And I have this written down right here on the tablet. Tablet.
It's a brutal show right now.
It's Wednesday. It's okay. We got.
It's been a long work week, man.
Yeah, we're still rolling. We're still going. But the rules package showed its muscle at Texas.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, Ryan, because I had it a little bit farther down in our recap, but I said a couple weeks ago, give it till Texas to really give your opinions on the new package. I'm a fan of it. I
am too. I am,
but I still think there's things they can tweak with it.
Yeah, my issue is, and you've seen it. You can pass in the back of the pack, mid pack, but when you get up to that leader, there's something about it where you can't get to that leader and go.
I kind of felt it's quite the opposite. I think it's the middle of the pack where your struggles happen, because you see guys who come to pit road and all that under caution, they're in the middle of the pack and they can't make their way back up to the front. But it seems like if you can get within a second of the leader, you start to catch that draft, you start to pull right up next to him, and you can make a move. I mean, whether you have to move him out of the way or, give him a little tap, I think you can get around him. I think, honestly, Brad Keselowski, when they were at, what race did Logano win earlier this year?
Vegas.
When they were at Vegas, you saw it. Keselowski would make a terrible entry into a corner, or exit off a corner bad, but still be able to catch right back up to Logano to make an attempt to win that race. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of the opposite. I think the middle of the pack is where it hurts, and out front, I think you're good to go.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that race on Sunday, I thought it was the best race of the year. Daytona's still Daytona, but the rules package, it shined. I think Larry Mack said it best during the broadcast, or no, he said it on Race Up, that the tire wear was not an issue, where these guys could stay out. Why you've seen a lot of two tire changes, just gas and go, all this different pit strategy. It shined. And if I had a hat on, I'd be taking it off.
I think, Ryan, you talk about that. You talked about the two tire stops. When I was paying attention to Kyle Busch at the midway point of that race, I was catching his pattern. And every time he'd come to pit road, it was two tires, because there was no tire fall off really this weekend.
No, there wasn't.
And it helped him all the way up until that final stage with about 25 laps to go when he smacked the outside wall.
Yeah, he was catching, I think it was Eric Jones, and smacked that wall hard. Well, he got loose one time going in, I think it was 3.
Gotta say, he made the race interesting, though.
Yeah, he did, and it was fun to watch. Hats off to the Hendrick boys, 3 out of the 4 leading laps. So nice to see.
And I was making, obviously Chase Elliott is my driver. I made the comment to you that 9 car these recent weeks has just been starting to pick up steam. I know they didn't have the finish this weekend they were hoping for, but the fact that it's up front and being able to compete with the guys who run up front week in and week out,
Exactly.
It was nice to see.
The 24 car, I think.
48 leading was big to me.
Yes, I think you're starting to see Knaus and Byron, get their heads on together, know what William likes in the car, what Chad likes to do. Same with Jimmy and Mendring. I think this is the weekend that this team needed as a whole to let's put these first month behind us and or 2 months and let's move forward. We still got plenty of races before we can make the playoffs. We have plenty of time to do it. And I think Texas, I think that's the turning ground for this team as a whole.
They were starting to pick up steam a little bit these last couple weeks, and now we head to another short track in Bristol, and we were just in Martinsville, and the 9 car had a really good shot at winning that thing, and
Yep.
actually,
The 48 struggled and the others struggled while the 9, they got their short track program.
Now
down.
looking at my white flag picks, going, I might switch that to a Hendrick driver.
Ooh.
But regardless, Kyle Larson finishes last. He had a hard impact with that wall.
And how about the
And I made the comment to you when he hit the wall, goes to pit road, there's a fire under the car, and I'm like, are they really trying to put a tire and get a car back on out there that was just on fire?
I wouldn't be surprised if he makes that 5-minute clock. But no, it was funny too because you're watching the replay. The tire changer's hitting all the logs, pulls it off, and he's like, "Oh, there's a fire." But kudos to Texas Motor Speedway officials getting there and putting out that fire quickly.
I thought the funny part about all that is when they put the new tire on it, and it was just sticking up. It was barely touching the ground. That's done.
Well, speaking of pit road issues, one of the pit stops Jimmy Johnson had, the Jackman drops the jack and he's going around.
It broke in two.
Yeah, it just got loose. The handle fell off. So he goes to the pit wall while the tire changers are, hitting the lugs, getting it off. He quickly puts that thing back together, jacks the car up. Granted, he lost some spots on pit road, but man, that's a snap of the finger right there to get that done.
It's amazing how quick they move.
Oh yeah, it is. It's insane. And people say pit road people aren't athletes. Oh, I highly disagree.
We were talking about the Penske Joe Gibbs Racing dominance, but for Penske, it was a tough day for Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, Keselowski, did they say what it was? I know it was something in the rear end. They didn't say what exactly. I don't remember.
It was the rear end. It was like when they dropped the jack when he was on pit road, it wouldn't go into gear.
Yeah, because the car was on, you heard it, but he's like, every time I go to throw it in gear, it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, and then Ryan Blaney overheated, which did he pit from the lead when he overheated?
He pitted from the lead.
So just a tough break for Penske this weekend.
How about Joey Logano's hood? When you're going down,
it was Logano's hood too.
Yeah, it was caving in. I've seen some weird things happen with hoods before, but I don't think I've ever remember seeing a hood.
Remember Hamlin's roof at Talladega? The roof hatch when it flew off or flew open?
Yep. Oh, Logan just got done eating.
It's crazy how the air affects these cars in that sense. And even Jeff Gordon commented on it during the race. He's like, I'm assuming that's a hood brace that broke underneath the hood there. Yeah, exactly. And he's lucky that didn't fly right open.
Exactly.
Pit strategies. We went over pit strategies already.
Yeah, a lot of pit strategies. 2 tires, no tires, fuel only.
I thought it was funny that I think it was Austin Dillon. He came to pit road, took no tires, fuel only, and he got beat out by cars that took 4 tires.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, "Ooh, what happened there?" It might not have been Austin Dillon. It might have been somebody else. But when I was watching, I was like, he took no tires and still got beat by half the field.
There was what was it? Yeah, like you said, the pit strategies, and I think it was the first pit. Yeah, it was the first pit stop. Byron comes into pit road. They do 2 tires. They drop the jack, and they all freeze. Even Byron freezes, And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Are you taking 2 tires, 4 tires of what?
Apparently,
Get out.
they were supposed to take 4, and then at the last second, Canals wanted to take 2, and,
All right.
something didn't get relayed over to Byron there.
Well, that's yeah. You need a communication is key.
And the Celtics lose the lead.
Marcus Smart jacking up threes again.
I'm trying to see because I can't remember if it was Marcus Morris or Marcus Smart that was out this game. Well, either way, the two of them both take unnecessary threes from way the hell out there.
Yeah, yeah, no really incidents on track.
Besides Larson, and then Kyle Busch tapping the wall. You had Eric Jones spin early. It didn't hit anything though.
That came back and finished 4th.
Fourth. Yep.
Solid run by Suarez. I'm going to talk a little bit later about him.
Let's go over it, Ryan. Your stage winners: first stage, Joey Logano; second stage, Denny Hamlin; your race winner, Denny Hamlin; your top 5, Denny Hamlin, Clint Boyer, Brandon Suarez, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Jimmy Johnson. I am having a brutal day with names.
William Byron 6. Got to throw that out there.
Your standings following Texas: Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Jimmy Johnson, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yeah, gonna be a good summer months coming up here. So, who breaks up this Penske Gibbs dominance right now?
Well, you only got 3 other teams out there, that I think can do it. You got Stewart Haas Racing, you got Hendrick, and you got Roush, which both Ryan Newman and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had solid runs this week, being in the top 10 most of the race for both of them. I thought that was a really nice step in the right direction for Roush.
Nancy could possibly do it with Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has been running pretty good this year.
Kurt Busch has been running good. Man, what's happened to Larson?
I don't know. I mean, is he not being aggressive enough? I don't know what it is.
I actually put out a Twitter poll during the race of what's more likely to happen in a NASCAR race. Kyle Larson taps the outside wall, or Denny Hamlin gets a pit road speeding penalty.
Or you can put Clint Boyer on there too, because
or Clint Boyer gets pissed off at qualifying.
Oh man! Oh,
your next race is Bristol this Sunday, 2:00 p.m. Eastern on FS1. I know you want to get into the qualifying thing, so let's get a tire rub and let's talk about it.
All right.
Left side. Pull this left rear fender out, left side.
Tire Rub's Point, the show where we go over the news of the week. Very quickly, the first bit that's on here is Austin Wayne Self was suspended indefinitely for violating NASCAR's wellness policy.
Have they came out and I haven't heard anything else on it. All I know, like you said, the wellness policy.
He released a statement. I didn't read the statement, but I know he released one.
All right. They said, I don't know how long it's going to be, but that team said that they're going to do what it takes to find a driver. I know Bubba's been in that truck for a couple races. The good thing for the truck series, like we said, they're off for a month, so he could be back.
You got a month to figure it out.
Yeah, he could be back in the truck at Dover.
Isn't it a month today?
Yeah, a month today. It's a Friday.
Well, I gotta go back and look at this now. Yeah, May 3rd, so it's a month away from today.
Yep. So are we going to do any updates on the truck series while we are...
It's going to be a long month.
AJ, real quick before we go on to our next news, I wanted to ask you this during the truck program of the show, but it totally crossed my mind. I totally forgot about it. Rudy Fugo, who crew chiefs the Kyle Busch truck. At what point do you see him moving up either to the Xfinity and or to the Cup Series as a crew chief?
Probably next season, Xfinity Series, I could see.
I think he's one of the best crew chiefs.
Honestly, there's a guy in the Xfinity Series right now I'd love to see him paired with, and it's Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be dangerous right there. There's a couple.
Jeffrey, meanwhile, it was his first race in the 81 this weekend, and he ran solid.
Yes, he did. I thought he had a top 10 finish. Let me double. I'm right there right now. No, I wouldn't. Wow, I went back to Auto Club. Woo.
Well, you're a little too far on that.
Yeah, woo, we went back to Auto Club. Jeffrey Earnhardt got an 8th place finish driving the 81.
Yeah, that was a solid finish. Next thing, Ryan, because I know you want to talk about qualifying. NASCAR may go back to single car qualifying at tracks where drafting will be happening. Basically, every track that's not a short track or Daytona or Talladega, because they already do it at Daytona and Talladega. I just don't. I like single car qualifying. I just think it takes too long, but it also gives like that TV time to the underfunded teams that don't necessarily get it. So
yep, and that's what I don't know. It wasn't Steve. I forgot who it was that said it. That I don't know. I don't know if it was anybody in NASCAR, but it was somebody. One of the writers that said this. That like you said about the underfunded teams, I'm all for it because
you have Bob Bachrach.
Yeah, it could have been Bob. Good old Bob. These group qualifying with these guys going out there, they all sit on pit road, like we've said for numerous weeks, and they go out there all together, and you can't see, okay, BJ McLeod or Joey Gase or throw another guy out there, AJ. These guys don't get TV time.
Well, you know, you look this weekend, you had the controversy again.
Yeah.
There's no clogging the middle, as Clint Boyer was saying. And he's not kidding, because where Newman was parked at that angle, he's right in the middle. Clint Boyer can't go out. I think Clint Boyer thought that Newman was going out for a lap, so he was going to try to get behind him and then kind of shot himself in the foot. But regardless, Newman was blocking the middle.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you know what it amazes me too. You have all these guys sitting on pit road. This was round 2. I missed round 1, but I was home in time to see round 2. Daniel Suarez goes out by himself, 4th place. Everybody else goes out. Daniel Suarez still 4th place.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if it was Martin Truex Jr. that said it or not. I think it was Martin Truex Jr., but he said, you basically put back last year's rule package for qualifying, and then during the race you change it to this year's rule package, like kind of do the same thing you did last year.
All right.
But then again, the new package is all about drafting, so it takes away the whole point.
Yep. And like I said, my issue is still that, like I said, Suarez was the one car to go out there by himself. He started 4th. These guys go out there in the draft, that they sit on pit road is ridiculous.
Like I said, you make it so that they have to get 2 laps in. They'll have to go out there early. So,
but there was another thing too with that. A thing I was thinking of. You know how you got your practice speeds, everything like that? Go out there with your practice speeds, like 1 through 10. You have, 30-some cars?
Oh, you're saying break it up into, like, sections?
Yeah, 3 sections. Do
1st to 12th, 12th to 24th, and, 24th on back.
Give them a 3-minute 3 minutes on the clock, 3 minutes. Get out there and go.
Here you go. Have at it.
Yep.
That wouldn't be too bad of an idea. I actually like that idea.
If you want to do this group qualifying, I don't understand why teams don't want to do the single car qualifying. I mean,
I told you, I don't know why they don't do it with like how the F1 does it when they go out with teammates, where for so many laps you've got one guy leading that pack and then they switch. And now, the other guy's the trail car, and I don't know why they don't do it like that.
Yeah, because it's like who's going to budge first? Who's going to budge first? Who's going to budge first? And they just sit there.
Remember when they did the, I think it was the group qualifying at Daytona where they did that, where one guy would try to lead the pack, then he goes to the back and tries to catch oh, it was a mess.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't do it like that.
It's just, Boyer was pissed. I don't blame him.
No, I don't either. We got some special podcast announcement here for the Loose Lugs podcast. We have our first guests lined up.
Yes, we do.
We have Eddie Greer from the 3 Wide podcast coming onto our show following his trip to Kansas here in a couple weeks. He's going to be on our show and discussing the race weekend there and talking to us about the cool things about Kansas, because you and I have never been to Kansas, so it's also perfect to have him on the show to talk about, what we're missing out on that's out there and why, we should go in the future to Kansas.
It's going to be definitely a good time, though.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, the atmosphere, what is there to do around the track, the camping experience, if he's camping out. Is he camping out there, AJ, do you know?
I have no idea about that. I can definitely ask him.
Yeah, we got to definitely message him and ask.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think we're going to all have a blast with that. It's going to be, I forget what the date was for Kansas. I had it saved on my phone, and now I can't find where it was.
I got you.
Wait for Ryan to put this up, but
Kansas is, drum roll please. Kansas is Saturday, May 11th at 7:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1.
So like I said, following Kansas, we're going to have Eddie on, and it'll be cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. Get some.
And he's got an announcement coming up on his show, his next episode, where he's going to have an announcement regarding a future episode for his show.
Nice.
And well, like I messaged him earlier, I'm going to let him announce all that, so looking forward to it. It's fun to do these where we have other guys who do podcasts come on and talk racing with us. Like, I think it was PTM and My Opinion Therefore Fact last week did a swap cast, which was awesome.
Yes, it was very fun to listen to. Also, when going out to the races, you got all these tweet ups, meet and lap traffic podcast in the August race. That was cool as hell right there. Us podcasters sticking together, meeting up with each other at the races, some fun too. I love it.
Something I want to ask Eddie when he's on the show is, Kansas is known for what type of food, Ryan?
I cannot think of that right now.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
At a racetrack, I wonder what good places there are to eat around there.
Good point. Oh, speaking of which, following Texas Motor Speedway on my Facebook page, Twitter page, they did a thing of like where all the concessions are on the track in their little map. And I thought that was so cool. Like they had a Dickey's barbecue, a couple sub shops, and I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Like, I wish more tracks would do that. That'd be so cool to see.
No doubt.
Know what kind of food you're getting when you get to the track. I know when we were in Bristol in 2013, there was a barbecue place that was on one of the food networks. We went there. This was after the Saturday events at the track. And they're like, yeah, we got about a 45-minute wait, 45 minutes to like an hour and a half wait. They're like, are you guys from? I'm like, well, how long does it take, for a takeout? And they're like, it's about the same. I'm like, holy cow. They're like, you must be from out of state. I'm like, yeah, we're from Michigan for the race weekend. She's like, race weekend is hard as hell to get a table. Your best bet would be to come non-race weekend.
Go to McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, so we went to Chick-fil-A instead.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
That
All
was
right.
my first time having Chick-fil-A too. It was really good.
Let's get into some social media.
All right. As we're talking about food on the Loose Lugs podcast.
Social media. We are at 1,188 downloads on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. 284 followers on Twitter. 25 subscribers on YouTube. 72 likes on Facebook. New follower shoutouts this week include NASCAR Chasers 1419 at NASCAR Chasers 11. Seth Eggert at Motorsports Rev. We have Talk Smack. Ryan. I am killing the name department this week.
That's
Track
okay.
Smack Radio at track_radio. And our podcast shoutouts this week include the Lap Traffic Podcast, the PTM Racing Podcast, the My Opinion Therefore Fact Podcast, the All Turns No Breaks Podcast, the 3 Wide Podcast, the Side Draft Podcast, and the Final Lap Weekly. Places you can find us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and YouTube by putting in your search bar the Loose Lugs Podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe, follow, turn on your notifications. This way you get notified every time we upload some new content, and you can hear the little bell ding when you hit the notification bell. Ryan, what does that sound like?
Ding, ding.
That was like Rocky right there.
Yeah, I actually what I was going to do here for you. So you got to give me a minute here.
But
Go ahead, keep talking.
on Twitter, we are at Lugs Podcast. You can tweet us about the show using the hashtag LugsPod. On Facebook, we are in your search bar, the Loose Lugs Podcast. Our personals, myself, is at Greg Goose F150 on Twitter. And as I say every week, even though I use the Lugs Podcast Twitter handle more than I use my own. And Ryan?
Ryan Cola 88, and here you go. There's a bell.
It's a little school bell. I don't want to hear that.
That's right, school bell.
In a minute.
Well, I was thinking of what's that thing we always play when we're not doing good in hockey?
Well, that's the Benny Hill theme.
I was thinking about doing that, but the copyrights and all that fun stuff.
Well, Ryan, you can Benny Hill theme your way into another weekly rant. What do you have for us this week?
All right, guys. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend enjoying the Texas Motor Speedway action. All right, let's get into this. We're going to dive headfirst into this. We're going to go all in on this. The NASCAR police were definitely out in full force at Texas Motor Speedway. In case in point, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin with the uncontrolled tire is what they like to call it. When the guy goes in to tighten the car up or loosen her up, you got the tire right by him. That's not within the arm's length. Are you kidding me? Arm's length. Okay, so we're going to have a guy determine that it's going to be arm's length by watching a little video. No, you have your pit box for a reason. If any portion of that tire goes outside your pit box without a hand or a body part near it, then you give them their penalty that they are deservingly so. But for Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, yes, I know Hamlin won the race. He overcame 2 penalties, which he tends to do that a lot, folks. But it could have cost him a race. I mean, a guy tightening the car up, I don't understand it. I don't know if it's like, oh man, we've messed up so bad on qualifying now that we got to go out here and we got to control the pit road, the speed limit, entering the box too early, too many crew members over the wall, a guy putting his hand on pit road. Next thing you know, they're going to, black flag somebody, give him a penalty for burning the tires down when he leaves pit road.
That was solid.
Yeah, everybody on this listens to the show knows I'm not the biggest Denny Hamlin supporter, but that was terrible. The same thing happened to Jimmy Johnson, but they didn't call gave him a penalty for it. I don't know why. Sarah's like, didn't Jimmy Johnson do something like that? I'm like, yeah, it looked like it, but they didn't call a penalty on it.
Yeah, there was Jimmy. I forget what the other car was that had it was within our arm's reach away. I can't remember who it was now, but I saw the side-by-side video and it looked like Jimmy's was like way farther away, but he wasn't penalized.
Like I said, you have a limited number of guys over the wall right now, but you're gonna go within that microcosmic of an inch. Like, nope, that's penalty, that's penalty, that's penalty, that's penalty. You could call a penalty on every damn pit stop with these uncontrolled tires.
Uncontrolled tire to me is anything outside the pit box. If it rolls out there, if it rolls onto the pit lane out into the infield, that's uncontrolled tire.
Okay, if you're the crew member, you're wheeling that tire back to the pit box or back to the wall, but yet you're over your pit box line. As long as the crew member is there, you don't call a penalty. But if the guy is not there and that tire is on the line where half is in the pit box, half is out, then you give them the longest line, get back there.
I'm right there with you, Bubba.
Thank you.
Right there with you. Is that all you got for a rant this week?
Yeah, I mean, qualifying, we already did that.
I don't have a rant this week. I think was it last week I had a rant?
Yeah, last week you had a rant.
I only got one this week.
I don't know if you want to bring it up, but the rumors around DW, do you want to talk about that at all?
I don't want to talk about it because it's not really official yet, and it's all speculation. I don't want to get into that yet.
There's part of me wants to say something real quickly on it, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead. Because just a preface, there's a rumor going around, and I've seen on a couple websites now, saying that Darrell Waltrip after this season will no longer be in the Fox booth. But Brian, take it away.
I like DW. I mean, he's good. He's been good for doing this for what, 19 years now. A great driver. I'd like to see him get to 20, then do it. But the rumors are out there. I mean, I don't know if he likes to be there anymore. I think he loves to be there. I don't know. Maybe there's pressure from up above, so to speak.
Well, you got to understand, NASCAR listens to its social media page, and it just seems like this season it's been a giant bashing book from what I've seen on DW. And, you know, I know we've got our opinions on how Darrell Waltrip's been out of touch for the last couple of years on what's going on, just because he's not fresh out of a car like Jeff Gordon is. But you got to understand, this man's been calling races for Fox since the inception of Fox broadcasting NASCAR races. It's like, you know, when Vin Scully retired from the Dodgers, calling those games. It's like, that's the iconic voice you think about when Fox Racing comes up as a broadcast.
Same with Ernie Harwell and Tigers games on the radio. Man, voice of the Tigers.
And to a lesser extent, my Yankees with John Sterling and Michael Kay.
Yankees one.
Yeah.
Besides today.
Well, it's only 2 games this year so far.
Right. That's right.
I was actually thinking about that the other night when I was watching the Yankee game. I'm like, you know, as a kid, I used to love like the voices of Michael Kay and John Sterling calling a game, because it was like that's your team. That's the voice you grew up listening to. But after watching like a couple of Yes broadcasts this year, I'm like, this is dry. This is such a dry broadcast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Tigers got a new announcer too, and
he doesn't. They don't have second deck anymore.
No, second deck got fired, man.
If none of you know, like I know Brandon from the Lap Traffic will know about this.
Yep.
Just if you have a second, go on YouTube, look up Detroit Tigers second deck, and that'll explain it all.
Classic crowd right there. But no, him and his broadcast partner Mario Impemba, they got into a altercation in Chicago last year, where they were both put on a leave of absence, which in turn they both were fired. Mario Impemba is now doing, I do believe, radio for the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken. But they were here in Detroit for almost 20 plus years, calling Tigers games on Fox Sports Detroit, and they were good at what they do. But one night they didn't agree, and next thing you know, they're out. So they got Jack Morris, Kurt Gibson, Dan Petrie, all former Tigers, doing color, while Matt Shepard is doing play-by-play. And it's taken a while to get used to Matt Shepard in the booth.
I hear that. Well, what do you say, Ron? We get to some white flag. Let's predict what's going on here in Bristol this coming weekend.
It's Bristol, baby.
Keep working the mirrors. In line with you, coming to the white. Only 2.
All right, the white flag segment on our show is where we go over our predictions for the upcoming race weekend. And last weekend, Ryan won 2 out of 3. What did I win? I think it was the Xfinity race. And
Brandon Jones, when he crashed with Custer.
Yeah, and then I won, or then you won the Truck Series and the Cup Series. You
Best
now
in.
lead the season standings 9-8, and you get to go first this week. So Ryan, who are you picking?
Man, some short track action, beating and banging. And I thought about this. I was going to go with Ryan Sieg just because the little momentum he had at Texas, but and then I remembered, man, this is a Dash for Cash race. I am going to go with the number 1 of Michael Annette.
Wow, interesting pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with a debuting driver, the 18 of Harrison Burton.
Good pick, good pick, good pick.
On the Cup Series, Ryan, who are you going with?
All right. This guy has been, so close to winning at Bristol. Give me the 20 of Eric Jones.
Nice pick, nice pick. I had a Hendrick driver lined up for my Cup pick initially, but then we were talking about what happened at Martinsville a couple weeks ago, and I think it's time. I think it's time to pick the 9.
You are throwing Chase Elliott into the fire at Bristol. I love it.
God, I hope I'm right on this one.
I love it. Good pick. I like it.
Your sleeper, Ryan. Who's your sleeper?
Michael McDowell.
Michael McDowell. I initially chose Bubba Wallace, but now I'm going to pick my initial race winner as my sleeper pick, and I'm going with William Byron.
Nice.
Going to ride the hot hand.
Yeah, might as well.
Short track. Not so Saturday night, but it's going to be a Sunday afternoon short track.
Weather's supposed to be really nice in the 80s, so if you guys are going to Thunder Valley, definitely enjoy the weather. It's going to be nice out there. Well, normally when I went, it was wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. So AJ, real quickly here. So I'm on Facebook, and Facebook Live pops up. There's a gentleman in a Food City because it's the Food City 500. He's got 2 tickets, good seats too for the race on Sunday. He hides them behind a Bush's like a row of Bush's beans. I'm like, and I wrote on there, man, if I wasn't 9 hours away in Michigan, I'd be down there in that Foodland or the Food City to get them tickets.
Yeah, no kidding.
Tickets to Bristol. I'm like, he's like, well, get on a plane and fly down here. I'm like, yeah, the tickets would be gone by then.
Yeah, no doubt.
Imagine the person shopping. Oh man, I want some. Oh, what the tickets to Bristol?
Imagine the people who don't watch NASCAR, follow NASCAR. What is this?
Oh man, I can put these on eBay.
Yeah, that's all I've got, Ryan. You got anything else you want to add this week?
No, not really. It's Bristol, baby.
Oh, I hit slide job. You know what? Let's just play that through.
Trying to take the lead away.
Slide job!
It's just been a brutal evening.
It's okay. It's still a good show. But yes, it's Bristol. Definitely can't wait to get back there. I know it's on the bucket list. I definitely will be back. So, guys, enjoy Thunder Valley. Enjoy the beating and banging. It's Bristol, baby. We'll see you at the track.
Special thanks to Tony for coming out and talking to us in the chat. We definitely had fun with you in the early part of our show today. Special thanks to everyone who tuned in, even if you didn't chat in our live stream. Thanks to everyone who downloaded this podcast on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher. We enjoy all of y'all. It's Bristol, baby. Short track racing at its finest.
AJ.
Yes.
What was worse? The AAF or this?
He said AAF and you started laughing.
Yes, I can't keep a straight face. Hit him with it, AJ.
It's Bristol, baby. Y'all enjoy it this weekend. We're out.
Can't feel relief with the beating that I've done. Find something